Hey everybody!
Hi.
Welcome to #PastorBesties. I'm Nicole.
I'm Melissa.
And today we're talking about...
We are talking about, especially as pastors, as clergy, what it means to carry other people's stories.
How do you hold all you have to hold in ministry?
How do you feel all the feels, hold all the feels, do the stuff? So take a deep breath.
Today on #PastorBesties. So, sometimes ministry can be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And...
Well, let's be fair. Sometimes life can be difficult.
Oh, totally. This is not really even just a pastor problem. Really. I mean, we're seeing it through the lens of being a pastor, but
right.
How do you deal with holding not only your own stuff, but everybody else's stuff too? Right.
I think that there is a different level and layer when you're in ministry because there's a trust.
Sure.
I mean, I know that I have people who come to talk to me who will say things to me that they won't say to their community, things that they're struggling with or things that are going on in their life. And
you're a secret keeper.
Yeah, and sometimes that's hard to be the secret keeper.
Right.
And sometimes it's not just secrets, but it's those stories too of this is something that's happening or happened and it's shaped me or it's shaping me into someone of who I am. But how do you hold those things,
right?
And not share those things,
right? You know, being a pastor is not a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes I really wish that I had a 9-to-5 job. It's not. It's an all-day, everyday sort of a job, which is, what we sign up for. It's not. I'm not like complaining about it. It's just kind of a reality that we live with.
Yeah.
And something that I've been kind of thinking about in my own life personally is, I think I might be like one of those empath people.
Oh, that totally makes sense.
That just feels other people's emotions and kind of carries other people's burdens when they're not their own.
Yeah.
And I think as pastors, we all tend to do that. But I think maybe because of who God created me to be, I kind of take that to the next level sometimes.
Yeah,
I just can't unfeel the feels.
Unfeel the feels.
Oh, I can't. I wish I could sometimes.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Because it's those things that wake you up in the middle of the night, like, oh, I need to check on so-and-so. Or I wonder if so-and-so is sleeping.
Or you go home and try to unwind and be with your family, and all you can think about is,
yeah,
they're going through a really hard time right now.
Yeah.
And that sucks. It's it's knowing that life is sucking for somebody else and not being able to maybe even fully enjoy your own because of that. I don't know if that's fair. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that, not all the time. But it's hard sometimes to be the holder of
the stories.
All the stories. So how do we deal with that? How do we not let that take us to a dark, negative, twisty place?
I think that there's lots of ways. So, I think there's the informal ways of having good colleagues to talk through. If it's a situation that needs to be talked through, gosh, I have this situation. No names, no details, but I need some help in youth ministry, or I need some help with what do I say to someone who is actively dying? To have colleagues that you can to bounce some of those things off.
Right. I find too that sometimes it's helpful for me to be able to just say, I've got some parishioners that are really struggling. And if I can share that with you, that I feel like I'm holding all of this, then I feel like some of the weight has been lifted from me and given to you. We're sharing that burden a little bit.
Right.
Whereas for you, maybe you listen and you're like, yeah, that is a hard thing, but you can let it go. But you've taken some of it from me.
Yeah. And so if you can be that that valve for someone else to let the steam out or to let the air out, or to let the pressure off.
I think maybe, to have somebody in your life even that can say, Nicole, you can't take on all of this. It's not fair to you, your family. It's not healthy. You have to let some of that go.
Right. So I think then there's also like the formal ways and like the, professional ways. Do you need to see a counselor? Do you need to see a therapist?
Right. Yes.
And perhaps that is something that needs to happen.
Right. Because it can be exhausting to hold other people's stories.
Yeah.
It's a privilege. Don't get me wrong. It is a huge privilege.
Absolutely. But to carry all of those things as well as your own. I know that there's been times when somebody will say something to me, I'm like, if you would just tell that person over there because they're going through the same thing.
Right.
And sometimes it's like, do you mind if I share this? Because I think another person would be helpful. I mean, sometimes you can do that, but sometimes it's like, I wish that you would tell each other, because that's what community is about, and you're actually really going through the same things, but that, I mean, there's a lot of vulnerability that comes in that, and a lot of trust, and so we get to be that. We get to be like that bridge and that midwife to help birth that into the world. Oh my
gosh, I love that. What a thought.
I know, that just came to me right now.
I love it. It was like God inspired.
It was.
It's such an honor and privilege to have people share anything with you and trust, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, no matter what you do in life. It is such an honor to be able to hear other people's stories, to share in stories, and
to be a part of someone's life in that way.
Yes,
it's a beautiful, incredible honor.
It's sort of like what God created us to do, right? He created us to be in community with one another. Yes. From the very beginning, we were meant to be with other people.
Right. Yes.
And so to find your community is pretty cool.
It is. It is. And to to bear one another's burdens. That's what we're supposed to do, right?
Right.
And yet, in a healthy way.
Yeah. I mean, we have to take care of ourselves, otherwise we can't take care of others. You hear that all the time. It's it's almost like cliche at this point that you have to care for yourself to care for others. But the thing about cliches is that they're true. They're true.
Nicole, we did an episode about cliches where we said that they all weren't true.
Okay, but a lot of times they are true. Maybe I need to go back and watch the catalog of our work.
Well, we do talk about Sabbath and self-care
a lot.
You know why?
Because we're really bad at doing it.
We're not really bad. We're just bad.
Yeah, but I think people, in general, people are bad at self-care.
Right. Oh, yeah.
All people.
Yes.
We're too busy for self-care.
So it's important to get those reminders that you have to take care of yourself.
Right.
Because you can't care for somebody else if you can't care for yourself.
Yeah. So share with us, what are you doing that helps you to be able to carry the stories? What works for you in your life to be able to carry one another's burdens? We have to do it because we can't carry even our own burdens ourselves. We need to be in community. And so how do we do that? How do we do that well and in a healthy way? And, share below. We want to hear your thoughts on it because we don't have it all figured out.
No. I'm not even going to pretend.
Not even close.
Maybe a little bit I do. No. No, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So may you carry the stories. May you birth them into the world and be the midwife. May you bring about healing and hope. May you remind people that wherever they've been, God has been present with them the whole time. And may you know that God is present with you, bearing your burdens, walking your journey with you.
See you guys next time.
Bye.